taking out removals insurance and what are the options available?
Okay, so with our insurers, and as I say, they're one of the biggest, so it's the same for most removal companies. We offer the optional insurance. Insurance is one of those sort of, it's a Marmite thing, isn't it? Some people, I must admit, I'm one of the people, if insurance is offered, I take it. But one thing that we do point out when we provide the original quotation and if asked, is that the insurance that removal companies offer more often than not is not based on a new for old basis. It's what they call on an indemnity basis. So if we were to damage your television and it was 5 years old, you wouldn't get what you paid for it 5 years ago or what the replacement value is today. Insurance companies have a sliding scale for reducing the value of an item depending on its age. So it's really entirely up to you. If you don't take the insurance that we offer, you have what's called limited liability cover, which means that and it's all in our terms and conditions, but in the event of Cranberries damaging any of your items, our liability to you is limited to £40 per item, pair or set. I would suggest it needs updating, but I guess the idea behind it was it would cover the cost of the excess if you were to claim on your household insurance. Obviously, moving from one country to another, more often than not, you don't get cover continued from one property to the other. So really, the answer to your question is it's entirely up to you. We have an excellent claims history or non-claims history with our insurers. Our renewal date is the 1st of December, and this year we've had to make no claims at all. You know, our lads are very careful, and this is where back at the beginning of the presentation that I gave, we talked about export wrapping. Everything's, you know, particularly precious items are export wrapped, like your large pictures, ornate mirrors. But everything else, actually, as it gets loaded onto the lorry, is wrapped in removal blankets. So inevitably, as the lorry is trundling down the road, things sort of move against each other. But because everything's wrapped in blankets, there doesn't tend to be any damage. Having said that, accidents do happen. So, you know, we're a pretty honest company. If we happen to scratch or break something, we will bring it to your attention. And obviously we would work with you then to put it right. But insurance as a whole is optional. And it's entirely up to you whether you want to take it. It's your call, really, I'm afraid.